When we talk about the word diversity in the United States context, a lot of it has been within the framework of what we've called DEI in the last few years, diversity, equity, and inclusion,
Yes.
which has been a very important shift in companies to help them to expand opportunities for all people. But I think that when we talk about DEI within the United States, it's been a lot focused on race
Yes.
primarily, and to a lesser extent, gender.
Yes.
Um, and I think that one thing that happens then is sometimes we end up sorting the world into like two buckets of people: diverse people, like women and people of color, and then non-diverse people, white men, straight white men.
Yes.
And I think that when we look at things from the broader span of humanity, which is what I do, like we look at things from the standpoint of sort of anthropology and how societies have evolved over time, we find that, in fact, we all are sort of a mosaic of identities. We all are diverse in our own way. I was just playing pickleball this week with a guy. He says, I come across as a straight white guy, but actually, I'm Palestinian.
Oh.
And Palestinians are classified as white in the United States. My family, this and all this background, he's very global. But people look at him, they're like, you're in this bucket, right? So I think that, so that's one thing, is this idea of what is diversity and what is culture.
Yeah.
And I think that culture sometimes it's hard to talk about because, especially in the United States, it's such an individualistic society. We think, I'm not shaped by my culture. I make all of my choices. But the fact is, there are things that are universal to all of us as human beings. And there's very interesting research that shows like all human beings, anthropologists think there are about 300 things that we all do in common. Like we all gossip. We all enjoy eating our food socially with other people. We all have ceremonies around our food. We all have sex in private. We all, all of these things that are different from other species, right? So there are all these universal things. We all want the best for our children, right? So these are all things that hold us together as humans. But we all want to be respected, okay? We all want to respect other people.
Yes.
Then there's a whole body of cultural things. What we consider respectful behavior differs from culture to culture.
Yes.
How we perceive leadership differs from culture to culture. The same leadership behaviors that we think will be successful here will be not successful there. And so those are these cultural aspects. And so we want to help our clients, our learners, to develop a very sophisticated understanding of how different groups of people look at the world so that we can successfully engage and motivate all kinds of people, not just the people who come from the same background as our own, right? And then the third layer, I would say, there's universal, cultural, individual. That's where, while we're invisibly shaped by the groups, principally the group that we grew up in, our families, we also make our own independent choices. So we're invisibly shaped by them, but we also, in turn, invisibly shape all of the groups around us through our independent actions. And so I think it's really giving our learners, our partners, sort of an understanding of all of these aspects so that we can be more powerful, more effective in how we relate in the world, and also so that we can have more powerful and effective and enjoyable and meaningful personal relationships, as you point out.